Hi again, and welcome back to 5 Things from Google. Indeed, welcome back to the second in my controversy series. As I said last week, it's often the comments which are made about a topic which tend to be more controversial than the topic itself. As always, there is a very good chance, especially with these short videos, that I will find and present comments which include adult themes and adult language, as I won't censor them, unless they're really offensive, and there's a very good chance I won't even include them in the video anyway. But I advise you to have the use of headphones at work or where such content could be frowned upon. Before I start, for those of you who are not in Australia, you might be interested to know that the Australian federal government has finally allowed same-sex marriage to be recognised legally in this country. I mentioned this originally way back in episode 1 of my second series, and it's finally all done and dusted. That particular episode was on gender, and an aspect of that which we touched on was transgender rights. So I thought, in light of the legality passing the lower house here, we'd use that as the basis for this week's topic, specifically on the subject of gender-neutral toilets due to transgender rights issues. Now, unisex bathrooms are not necessarily a new thing. In fact, it's only really been in the last few years that the topic itself has become highly controversial. Public bathroom facilities in the 19th and 20th century Europe and the United States were strongly segregated by sex, race, class and religion, but only sex segregation remained normative at the end of the 20th century. Though unisex public toilets have become more common worldwide in the early 21st century, such facilities have proven highly controversial. While the issue of gender-inclusive restrooms has been raised as an equity and human rights issue for people who identify outside of the gender binary, eliminating gender segregation in bathrooms also benefits disabled populations who may have attendants of a different gender, also parents with children and anyone who may need additional assistance using public toilet facilities. Agender restrooms can eliminate discrimination and harassment for people who may be perceived to be in the wrong bathroom. Now, opponents of unisex bathrooms have often referenced the fear of women and children being assaulted in bathrooms by trans women. But there's no credible research to support that claim. However, there is substantial evidence that demonstrates that transgender people and gender non-conforming people experience substantial and significant harassment in public restrooms. Unisex toilets have appeared in China since before 2013, in Xi'an and Chengdu by 2015. However, it wasn't until November of 2016 that Shanghai, China opened its first public unisex toilet near the Shangxibin River in a park in the Pudong district. Many of these toilets have opened in high traffic areas for the convenience of users, as opposed to existing for the benefit of those in need of a gender-neutral toilet, for example, sexual minorities or those who are disabled. As for India, in 2014, the Indian Supreme Court gave transgender people, also known as Hajaras, recognition with a third gender. This legislation included creating separate toilets for transgender people in public spaces, where transgender people are often met with violence and hostility. In 2017, the Union Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation sent out guidelines to the Swachh Bharat mission, decreeing that members who are part of the transgender community should be allowed to use the public toilet that they are most comfortable with. In Japan, as of 2016, still no laws are set in place regarding the uses of bathrooms in relation to gender identity. There may, however, be occasional signs in front of a public toilet that indicates the stall is gender-free. The Tokyo city government is, however, planning to install one unisex toilet in at least 7 out of the 11 buildings being used for the Olympic Games in 2020. Now, it's the United States, where things get really messy. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission provides federal anti-discrimination protection on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, pregnancy status, age, disability, and genetic information. However, federal anti-discrimination laws do not extend to LGBT individuals. In May 2016, the US Department of Education and the Justice Department indicated that single-sex schools and schools receiving federal money must treat transgender students consistent with their gender identity, under Title 11 of the Education Amendment of 1972. This, however, has not extended such a ruling to transgender students across the board. Each state, county, and city government enacts its own legislation governing how it will or will not protect the rights of LGBT individuals. This includes provision of gender-neutral bathrooms. San Francisco, Philadelphia, Seattle, Washington, D.C., West Hollywood, Austin, and the state of California have all passed measures mandating that single-occupancy bathrooms in public spaces be labeled as gender-neutral. Meanwhile, state legislature in Arizona, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas have proposed anti-transgender bills that would actually restrict bathroom access. On Twitter, a couple of hashtags have sprung up. Hashtag we just need to pee, hashtag safe to pee, and hashtag occupotty. Some of the tweets for them are as follows. Dizzy Cricket posted a picture stating, "Here's what it will be like if trans people aren't allowed to use the right bathroom. No women should be forced to use the men's restroom, and no men should be forced to use the women's." Aidan Hirschfield wrote, "Thank you at Starbucks in Madison for providing gender-neutral restrooms. Much appreciated. Hashtag Occupotty, hashtag We Just Have to Pee." Jessica Miller writes, "More Republican politicians than trans people have been arrested for sex acts in bathrooms." Grad Life, "Another reason to love Illinois. All genders welcome. Graduate College, Cable Hall, second floor. Hashtag Gender Inclusive Bathroom Hunt." Eclair Videos pointed out the very real issue confronting people of transgender. "Really wish the dentist would have pulled the teeth that got smashed the last time I got beat up over having to pee." A restaurant train, the Beltliner wrote, "All our restaurants are now gender neutral, so all our patrons can feel hashtag safe to pee." However, in the United Kingdom, Labour MP Caroline Flint claims trans-friendly toilets are very dangerous for women. Miss Flint made the unexpected intervention as Maria Miller, the chair of the Parliament's Women and Equalities Committee, was launching the first ever parliamentary debate on transgender issues. Miss Flint stated, "A recent case at my old university, the University of East Anglia, where they have gender-neutral toilets, discovered that a man was using that to harass women in those facilities, and has been convicted on charges. Could we please make some comment about the issue and how we protect women from male violence in gender-neutral environments?" Miss Flint was referring to the voyeurism conviction of a student, Luke Malaband, who placed phones to secretly record women in campus toilets and showers on numerous occasions. Although much media attention focused on the incident in a university library gender-neutral toilet, the court actually heard that cameras were placed at a number of locations, including female-only facilities. Voyeurism and sexual assault are crimes regardless of any toilet designation. In response to Miss Flint's claims, the response was this: "I believe that particularly when it comes to gender-neutral toilets, frankly, many organizations have had gender-neutral toilets for a great many years. If you go on an aeroplane, for example, you don't have a men's and a ladies, and you don't see particular problems there. I think we have to be careful that individuals are not necessarily using or perhaps misinterpreting what is a serious problem in terms of threats to women in those sorts of environments by undermining the rights of transgender people, which we should be upholding as parliamentarians." Clearly the debate raises some ire with some people, and strong reactions for those that it affects, like those people who identify with a non-stereotype gender. For the rest of us, we probably shrug and just go on our way. However, I'd be interested to get your own viewpoints on this. Send me an email at 5thingsfrom@gmail.com or leave a message under the video. Until next time, be safe, and I will see you again soon.